What's good, y'all? It is your boy. I'm your host, Brother Abraham. This is the YouTube channel, Cry Aloud, Spare Not. This is a channel built by Hebrews, for Hebrews, right? I believe that the blacks in America and certain black people around the world are the ancient or are the descendants of the ancient Hebrew Israelites, right? And so the people that we read about in the scriptures, right? Those are our ancestors, right? So I came across this video, right? Or should I say, this video came across my virtual YouTube desk, right? And this is a video with two unconscious Israelites. I say unconscious, I don't say black, Negro, niggers, anything like that, right? I call them unconscious Israelites because I believe, like I said, the blacks in America are Israelites, right? And those who don't believe that or accept that, I call them, or who doesn't practice the commandments of the Most High, or believe in the Messiah, the Son of the Most High, who some people call Jesus, but I call him Joshua, right? Or in Hebrew, Yahusha, right? Or some people might say Yahoshua, Yahushua. Okay. But a black person that does not practice the commandments of the Most High nor believe in the Messiah, I call them unconscious Israelites, right? So I came across this video of two unconscious Israelites, one by the name of 19 Keys. I've been seeing him hop around from black YouTube station channel to another black YouTube channel, making his rounds around the black YouTube environment and spewing, right? I think I said that word right. Spewing, whatever. His this spiritual harlotry, right? Because in the Bible, the Most High says the children of Israel have played the harlot, right? Meaning, the children of Israel stopped serving the creator of heaven and earth, right? And started serving the idols of other nations, right? So the Most High calls that spiritual, or he calls that harlotry, right? Israel is playing a harlot, right? They they have turned away from the one who we made a covenant with, a marriage covenant with, right? And has, went off seeking another spiritual lover, right? So Israel is playing the harlot. And so these two brothers right here, first one named 19 Keys, second one named Billy Carson, right? These are two spiritual harlots. I mean, I seen a video with 19 Keys saying, high level conversations, right? And he's talking about everything under the sun as if he's a walking encyclopedia, right? As if he's the Most High himself who just has infinite knowledge, right? Which to some people may seem like knowledge, but to those who are, I should say, who have renewed minds and are born again, right? Who follow the Most High, right? And his only begotten Son, who has the Spirit of the Most High inside of them, can easily point out what some people might call knowledge I call foolishness. Right? Foolishness. It's just foolishness. It's it's the same old beliefs that's been on this earth for a long time that we've been dealing with everywhere that we went, from ancient Babylon, or which is modern day Iraq today, to Israel, to Africa, to Europe, to the United States, all over this earth. Wherever we've been at, we have been taking on the idols and the beliefs of and spiritual practices of these other nations. Why? I don't know. Can't tell you why. Israel, the Most High, it's just, I don't know. People have itchy ears, right? They hear something, and or could maybe it's they want gratification, right? They want their cake, and they don't want to have to eat their dinner before they get the cake, right? Israel want their cake now. They they lust after things, right? And they have no discipline, right? Or they don't want to go the right way of attaining, you know, uh, spirituality, right? And obtaining, you know, these things that the Most High has set aside for us. So we go, not we, but these unconscious Israelites go to, you know, these other, or just Israel's just rebellious, and they just undisciplined, rebellious, and they want to do what they want to do, plain and simple. But anyway, without further ado, let's get into this video. I'm not going to be here for too long, probably, maybe an hour or so, and it's probably going to go on for a couple of other days. I probably have to make another video because this video is pretty long. I think it's about an hour 51 minutes, so about 2 hours, right? And we're going to just listen, and I'm going to clear up and some misunderstandings and anything that I hear that's wild and crazy, or just other nonsense. I'll call it out, and give y'all what the Most High or what the Bible says. Now, so let's get into it, man. Let me just give me a second.
What we tend to not understand is that time really doesn't exist. Clocks exist. Time doesn't exist.
Right.
And like you said, we've been given this functional arrow of time, which puts us in one specific direction so that we can organize our thoughts and our days and our years and weeks and what we're going to do and what we're going to meet up with somebody and everything else. So we have this ability to coordinate and collaborate with each other, like how we're here today at this specific time.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So this right here is the intro, right, of this brother's video. And he hits upon this, later on, right, in the video. But just to talk about it right now, I just want to touch upon it. This guy said time doesn't exist. All right. Clearly, time exists, right? Clearly, time exists. Whether man created it or the Most High created it, time exists. Whether somebody's calculating it, by using a clock or whatever, or a calendar, time exists. Right? So, this is what I mean. You got a bunch of people who want to sound smart, but to a fool, he sounds smart. But to somebody who is wise, who has some just a little bit of wisdom, nah, he sounds foolish. But let's keep going.
However, if you understand that time is also an illusion, it's something that you can use as a tool. But if you also understand that it's an illusion, then you can actually master time, and you can maximize what you're doing on this planet.
All right, hold on. This guy said time is an illusion. Okay, Oh, meaning it's not real. Hmm. Okay. So it's not real. But you darn sure abide by this illusion. If I told this brother, right? I told this unconscious Israelite that I got $1 million for you right now. It's gonna be transferred into you. It's gonna be wired into your account at 3 o'clock p.m. I'm pretty sure that he's gonna look at his watch, use some time, and 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 try and make it, or 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 pull up his account at 3 o'clock p.m. to receive his $1 million that has been wired to his account. So I don't want to hear this stuff about it being an illusion and stuff like that. If it's an illusion, then why are you abiding by it, right? But he said you can use it as a tool. Okay, so use it as a tool and be quiet. What's the point of saying it's an illusion? To me, it's just want to sound smart. Anyway.
19 keys and some high level conversation.
What's actually 19 keys stand? Walking around with a Elijah Muhammad hat on. Is this guy? I mean, maybe you can respond to this. I don't know. You probably won't respond. Whatever. But is this the son of? You got the same. I know Elijah. What is that? Elijah Muhammad, the old guy that used to run Nation of Islam. I know he used to walk around with a kufi with the same symbols, idolatrous symbols on his kufi. Now this brother got got the same idolatrous symbols on his hats and kufis that he wear. So I don't know. I guess he's trying to be the. I don't know. Maybe he's just copying his master or whatever. I don't know, man. I don't know. These brothers be confusing me. One moment they Nation of Islam. The next moment they Israelites. The next moment they Kemetes. The next and Farrakhan. He's all three of them mixed into one. I don't know. Spiritually confused. I don't know. Let's just keep it going.
Welcome back to another high level conversation. Today we have a powerful presentation, a very powerful energy, spirit, man, guide, scholar, polymath, intellectual, executive, actor, producer, author, you understand me, TV host, academia, a man really whom those who have seen needs no introduction. You understand me? A very extraterrestrial intellect. You understand me? A person that can dive in multi-dimensional areas.
All right, hold on. How many titles do this dude have? One thing I know about unconscious Negroes, unconscious Israelites, sorry, is that they love some titles. They love titles. The more titles, the better. You ever go to a Christian church and the name of the church is a sentence? Because unconscious Israelites, Negroes, they love titles. They love run on sentences and run on names and stuff. It's crazy. It's other madness. Now, also he called this guy Billy Carson an extraterrestrial. Oh my gosh. Ah, oh my gosh. This is gonna be a long video. It's gonna be a long video, man. He called him an extraterrestrial. Boy, when you go, you fill out an application or you doing your taxes or something, like there's no box that says extraterrestrial. It says black, white. Okay, I know these are social constructs. Yeah, whatever, right? But Negroes love to make up a new title for them. They call themselves alien. The dude is an alien. So you trying to say he wasn't born on this earth, man? All right, I ain't able to stay on this point. Come on, it's foolishness already. Starting off with foolishness, man. Boy.
You understand me? And a person that I don't have to hold back with whatsoever. You understand me? This is a man who has
Please
secure
hold back.
funding to build underground cities in Georgia. You
Underground
understand me? A
city.
person who is a 2-time best-selling author. You understand me? Of Woke Doesn't Mean Broke. And
Hold on. Okay. First of all, this dude said an underground city. You want to build an underground city? He's building an underground city in Georgia. Boy, you believe that? If you believe that, you believe this Negro over here who's doing the lotus pose in this picture, meaning telling me that he's full of some spiritual wickedness, man, that this dude got some demons inside of him. If this is what he practices and does, you know, this dude is building a underground city, and I hope the government don't know about it. I hope the state of Georgia, because if they find out, this, come on, man, this is silliness, man. Still building an underground daggone. They even got. Come on, stop it, man. All right. Let's just keep it going, boy. They even got a. You know what it takes to build an underground city? Who's gonna be living there? He gonna be living there himself with this, doing his lotus pose and stuff like that. Nobody go underground city. See, this is silliness. I don't even want to do this video no more, man, because it's just stupidness, man. Anybody and 3 million people freaking watched. More than 3 million people watched this video. More than 3 million people watched this video and actually sat through the whole hour and 51 minutes and gobbled up this silliness, this foolery, man. Get out of here with this, man. I can't believe 3 million people sat and watched this. 3 million people got deceived by this book.
of the Emerald Tablets, and also the founder of Forbidden Knowledge. You may have seen him on the Travel Channel. You may have seen him on the History
I ain't
Channel.
see him
You
nowhere.
understand me? You
See
may
him
have
on
seen
the
him in
History
another
Channel.
dimension when you just happen to be popping some shrooms or something and traveling through somewhere. And Billy Carson was right there floating next to you, giving you some guide.
Popping shrooms, and he was sitting there next to you. So this brother, so you trying to say this dude is in your mind? He's transformed into a spirit. He transforms into a spirit, pops up in your psychologic uh, trip that you having from eating mushrooms, which I don't know why people do that. It's crazy, man. Man, this is it's gonna be a good one already. Let's just keep it going, man.
You understand me? This is a powerful brother. Not only is he found things here on Earth, but he's actually found things out in space. You understand me? And we're gonna dive
been to
deep
space,
into
huh?
exactly what that means. So today, I want to introduce you to none other than the most powerful, prolific brother known as Mr. Billy Carson.
All right. So, what does the Bible say about giving man's flattering titles? It tells you not to give man flattering titles. This guy did everything under the sun and above the sun, according to 19 Keys, man. And the fact that he's sitting here talking to this dude and giving him believe all this silliness, if he does believe all this silliness, tells me that these two people are bat poop out of their mind. They just crazy. They crazy. Anyway, let's.
Hey, thank you, man. Appreciate you having me on. Thank you for the great introduction.
Absolutely, man. I make sure I have very intelligent people, you understand me, who require a great introduction, you understand me. For those, of course, like I said, who know you, you don't require any introduction, you understand me. You are a man, a great platform, you understand me, that stands on his own merit based on the knowledge that you possess.
Oh, please. I don't know who this Negro is. I never heard of him before. Billy Carson. Billy, man, anybody don't know no Billy Carson, please.
Research, investigate, and deliver to the masses.
Thanks, man.
Today, man, I want to have a roundabout conversation about multitude of different subjects here at High Level Conversations. I like to have an actual cipher. You understand me? Where we build and we collide and create new universes. You understand me? A university of thoughts. And first thing I wanted to talk about was time itself.
Yeah.
You know, and the idea.
When I saw him, he looked like the black dude from Iron Man, the one who played the silver suit. I was like, is that the black dude from Iron Man? What? This dude talking about ancient civilization, multiple dimension, aliens, and dude, I went crazy, must have went broke. And then come to find out it's some guy named Billy Carson. I'm like, all right, I ain't the dude from Iron Man. Anyway, let's go.
Of time. There's a lot of people that trapped into increments of time that they have to work in. You understand me? From a 9 to 5 position, and they have to live within the windows of hours and dissect their days based on that.
Yeah, it's called working. The Bible says you work, you eat. Unlike what you brothers doing. I don't know what you brothers be doing. Obviously, I don't know if you work. I don't know. A lot of y'all people on YouTube be faking it, borrowing other people's houses and apartments and cars and stuff, acting like y'all rich and wealthy. Yeah, I ain't. Anyway.
You understand me? And the unfortunate reality of it is that most people will never have a true understanding of life because they're living on borrowed time. You understand me? And so I'm always working to help present perspective and
But he said no. He said most people won't have a true understanding of life because they live it on borrowed time. That makes no sense whatsoever. So I guess you two guys, unconscious Israelites, got the what he said, the meaning of life. What he said, the understanding. Let me back that up.
have a true understanding of life.
All right, so I guess you two guys got an understanding of life, and everybody else on this earth ain't got no understanding of life, right? And everybody who came before you, no understanding of life. But you two brothers got the understanding of life. Because everybody else is on borrowed time. And I guess you guys not on no borrowed time. Your time is paid for already. You're not borrowing no time, right? You control time. So you guys control the time. And so now you have all the understanding of life. Yeah, okay. 3 million people watch this.
Because they're living on borrowed time. You understand me? And so I'm always working to help present perspective and observation on where people can understand the laws of time a little.
Please don't. Please don't work. Don't work to present or anything. Please just stop talking about this stuff. Don't talk about it on YouTube. Talk about it in your own house. Please. To yourself.
More. You understand me? Especially as we enter into fourth and fifth dimensional phases here, you understand me, on this planet Earth.
So we are entering into fourth and fifth dimensional places. All right. So it's getting interesting. I want to know what dimension I'm in. Because obviously, I don't know what dimension I'm in right now. Let's look this up on Google because I want to know what dimension am I in. I want to know. Because he said we are entering in the fourth and fifth dimension. Boy, let me see. I got to look this up. Now, while I'm looking it up, hold on. We're going to share the screen and everything and do all that. Just give me a second. Let's look this up. I gotta ask Google. Now he might think I'm crazy for asking Google because he probably don't believe in Google, because Google is a part of this dimension and not the one that he's in. Let me see. Okay. What? Get it off the caps. All right. What dimension are we in? So somebody asked this question already. Let's see. 3 dimension. In everyday life, we inhabit a space of 3 dimensions, a vast cupboard and with height, width, and depth, while well known for centuries. Less obvious, we can consider time as an additional fourth dimension, as Einstein famously revealed. Okay, but he says less obvious. We can consider time as an additional fourth dimension. Okay, so who? What's this? CMS dot CERN. Oh boy, I don't even know this source. This source sounds crazy. Talking about that I'm in the third dimension and time is the fourth dimension. And let me see this website that got this. What's the name of this website? Yeah, like I said, CMS.CERN. Who are these people? I don't know. CERN, I know CERN. CERN is that daggone machine that spin the particles around and around and creating explosions and want to recreate a big bang which never existed. Stupidity. So if this is coming from them, then they crazy too. And that's why these people speaking crazy because they listening to crazy people and they are regurgitating more craziness to my people. And I'm making this video to get y'all out of this craziness and stop calling yourselves that you're in the third dimension and time is the fourth dimension. What's the fifth dimension? I do not know. But this brother's probably going to say what the fifth dimension is, right? And he's just speaking regurgitated nonsense from what he read somewhere else, probably from some white person, right? Some white scientist, right? Who probably worships Satan. Because at the end of all this, right? This all goes back to Satan, right? So I don't say I'm in the third dimension. I said I'm just living life, right? I don't call time what it says right here. Time is says we can consider time as an additional fourth dimension. So I don't consider time the fourth dimension. I just consider time. That's it. I'm not dealing with dimensions and all this stuff and everything, right? It says, let's look at this question. Are we in third or fourth dimensions? Well, of course, we're in the third dimension. Okay. According to these satanic scientists, right? So this brother is obviously listening to satanic scientists and thinks he's in the third, and we're going to enter into the fourth and the fifth dimension. But we do use time, so we should be in the fourth dimension already. So this guy got he's confused about what dimension he's in. This guy's clearly confused about the dimension that he's in. So how do I get back to the screen that view term? I want to get back to this other screen, so I'm gonna just do it this way. Let's get back to the video and let's do it the long way. Pretty sure there's a shortcut to this. All right. So let's get back to this.
You understand me? Or the universe, as we will. Human beings, are we very interesting, beings.
Yeah.
You understand me? Like, just the idea that we allow someone else to decide what time is for us is a very interesting thing.
So we allow somebody else to define what time is for us. Okay, I know he's going to hit upon the Gregorian calendar, the Romans, and stuff like that. Okay, yeah, sure. That came that came after the Most High created time, right? Who created you? So time was here before you was created. If you go back to Genesis 1, you can see that time was created way before the humans was created, right? Adam, way before Adam was created, right? Time was created. Now you don't go by the Bible, so that's why you don't believe that. And so, you have a confused distortion of reality and time and all this other stuff, and you're confused by it because you don't follow the Bible. So this is interesting to you trying to figure out time and dimensions and stuff. It's not to me because the Most High has given us the Bible, which given us all the information that we need. We don't understand all of it, as the scripture says, but we do have an understanding of time, right? All right. Anyway, let's continue.
Yeah.
Right, from Julius Caesar to the Roman Pope with his papal bulls deciding, what is the 365 calendar, what is talking about 7-day weeks and 60 seconds and 60 minutes, and we say, okay, let's go along with it.
Yeah.
You know.
So the Romans did not create 7 day weeks and seconds and stuff like that, right? So a lot of this stuff came from black civilizations, which came from the Most High, right? Most High says he created the earth in 6 days, and the seventh day he rested. So the Most High created a 7 day week. He gave us the moon, which tells us the new moon to new moon is a month. Okay, new moon to new moon is a month. Sabbath to Sabbath is a week. So, and the white man did not write the Bible. The Bible, he wrote this modern day Bible that we he translated, I should say, from the Hebrew, which was written by our people, Black Hebrew Israelites, right? And Black Israelites and Hebrews, um, which got it from the Most High, right? Most High spoke, we wrote it down. That's how it was. And these scriptures was passed down until the Romans and the Greeks, the Romans and other nations came, took it and translated our scriptures so they can have it. All right. So that's how white people got their hands on the scriptures. They did not create the scriptures. And if they did add to it and want to trick us and stuff like that, don't you think they would have took a lot more stuff out of the Bible than what we have now? They could have easily said Satan is God. You don't have you. It's okay to kill, lie, steal, stuff like that. Normal human stuff. It's okay. This stuff is okay. Right? They could easily put this spiritual wickedness that you guys are in inside the Bible and tricked us. So no, the white people did not change up this and that in the Bible, and we're in some other weird white religion and not the religion of our ancestors. Right? The stuff that Africans believe, right? These water spirits, tree spirits, and all this crazy and Anunnaki and all this other stuff and everything that voodoo and hoodoo, all this stuff that we have today, right? This stuff has been around for a long time, but it was not here from the beginning. It came about once humans came on this earth, right? And those who did not want to serve the Most High, they wanted to serve these fallen angels, right? And Satan, the main fallen angel, right? The leader of the fallen angels. And they got this information from them. And so, what came first? The information from Satan or the Most High? The following of the Most High. Following the Most High came first. Then Satan rebelled. And then he caused a rebellion amongst the Most High's creation. Right? So that's the order of things. But anyway.
And we don't realize that it speeds up. You understand me? The process from being born to when you leave this place.
Yeah.
And then we already have
So he said it speeds up. How does this speed up our life? How does living by these calendars? I would like him to elaborate on how this speeds up our life on this earth. No, it was a time in the scriptures where you could read that before the flood that people were living up to 900 and change years, right? And then after the flood, the Most High says, "Man is wicked." You don't want man. You don't want to dwell with man. I think it says man is wicked, whatever, and their thoughts are wicked continually. And so he shortened the lives of man, right? And so now man lives would be at most 120, right? Around 120 years of age. So the Most High shortened your lifespan. He did do it through time. Okay. So I don't know what fallen angel or demon you got this information from, or white person who worships these fallen angels or demons, who you got this information from. It's clearly false. And you're following what the Bible calls doctrines of demons. Go ahead.
expectations on what life is going to be, because there's other people that tell us what it is, when we're going to die, when we get old, when we're going to feel a certain way. So it sets up a curation for us to die a certain way and at a certain speed. I want to hear what your interpretation of what time is first.
Yeah, well, this is a very deep question. I've talked about this so many times in different
So many times
lectures and workshops.
before he answers this, the reason why they're so fascinated with time is because they're doing these psychedelic drugs, and when you do these psychedelic drugs, um, you are now opening your mind, or what they like to call your third eye, right? Your pineal gland to being, you're opening your body to be inhabited by demons. So when you do these psychedelics, you are altering your state of mind, and you start to see spirits. And these spirits, which some people like to call ascendant masters, they say, oh, they lied to these people doing these drugs, and say, hey, we are your creators, we created you, and we are the gods that you have to serve, and stuff like that. And they tell these people, all these demons are telling these people, or fallen angels are telling these people this, like, things that are just blowing their mind, right? And so they believe what these spirits, these demons and fallen angels are telling them, and then they come back to this world, right? After they finish their trip, right? Come back to this world and spew this garbage, you know. And so this is why they are associated with. They love. They like. Oh man, that other world I was in, there's like, it was like no time, but I come back to this world. There's time. Like, I want to stay in that other world, and that's what it is. They want to stay in this other world of psychic. So this is nothing more than just a bunch of drug addicts talking about, the world that they want to talk about, this spiritual world that they, travel to because of the drugs they was taking, and how they want to stay inside that world. Well, you die in that world. I'm gonna let you know that you die in the real. You die for real in life, and you're gonna be in the lake of fire. What the Bible calls the lake of fire. You're gonna be in hell first, and then the lake of fire. Anyway, let's continue.
Because what people in the third dimension, we're in the third dimension, what we tend to not understand.
What you call the third dimension, I don't call. I just say this is life, right?
Is that time really doesn't exist. Clocks exist.
And he got this third dimension, fourth dimension, fifth dimension from who? Some white satanic scientist, because where was not born talking third and fourth, fifth dimension, right? He learned it from somewhere. He learned it from these white satanic scientists.
Time doesn't exist.
Right.
And like you said, we've been given this functional arrow of time, which puts us in one specific direction so that we can organize our thoughts and our days and our years and weeks and what we're going to do and what we're going to meet up with somebody and everything else. So we have this ability to coordinate and.
That's not why we was given time. Most High gave us time because this is how he wanted us to live. And, it wasn't so we can organize our thoughts and stuff like that. That's your interpretation of it. That's not what the scriptures say. And I don't know where you got that from. Probably from those white satanic scientists that you've been listening to. But anyway, or those demons or fallen angels, whatever.
Collaborate with each other, like how we're here today at this specific time. However, if you understand that time is also an illusion, it's something that you can use as a tool. But if you also understand that it's an illusion, then you can actually match.
All right, you said time is an illusion, but you just said we could use it as a tool. A tool is something that's not an illusion. A tool is actually something that's real. You can pick it up with your hand. But you just said time is an illusion, then you said it's a tool. So which one is it? Is it a real something? Is it a tool, which is something that's real you can pick up with your hand? Or is it, an illusion, which is something that's fake? So you're contradicting yourself. I'm not sure if everybody else caught that, but I catch that. Illusion is not something that's tangible, nor is it real. But a tool is something that's real. So obviously, time is something that's real. It's not an illusion.
Master time, and you can maximize what you're doing on this planet. Because if you go any high in all the higher dimensions, we're in the third, fourth, fifth, sixth, and all the way up.
For the layman that don't.
Negro, you don't need to be going into any other dimensions. You just need to stay on this one. Just stay on the earth. Put your feet on the ground. Get your mind out of the other dimensions, please. Because you sound crazy. You sound crazy, boy. I hope you ain't married, man. Boy, you ain't gonna no woman gonna follow this craziness. If she do, she crazy too.
understand what being in the third dimension means, can you give us a breakdown?
Okay, sure. So if you draw a line on a piece of paper, that's the first dimension. If you then connect those lines and create a house on a piece of paper, that's a two-dimensional structure, or you can move it into a computer. Anything you see in a computer that looks 3D is actually 2D. All right. So, and because we're in the third, we can see down into 2D. We can see all the way down, obviously, into 1D, and we can manipulate those dimensions from our higher selves. Now, if
bullcrap he learned from these white satanic scientists. Let's go.
now there are beings in fourth, fifth, and sixth dimensions. There's people above us. Now, because of that,
People, no, it's beings. Yeah, they call angels demons and fallen angels, and the Father and the Son. Yeah, not what you might call who you call the Anunnaki and all this other stuff. You know what you call the Anunnaki and the ascended masters. Those are demons. So yes, but I don't say that they're in the fourth and fifth and sixth dimension. They in the spirit world. Okay, but whatever.
they see us and they recognize the past, present, and future operating all at the same time. Everything's happening at once.
Right.
There is no separation between the past, present, and the future. The arrow doesn't exist. Because they're higher than us, they can look down into the third and they can see into what we're doing. So
who are before? Hey, we gotta unpack a little bit. We gotta unpack.
Okay.
It ain't that much to unpack. It's easy, bro. This. I just looked up on Google. This what he just spewed out his mouth is straight up on Google. You can read it, and it's a lot to unpack for somebody who don't read the scriptures and have knowledge of what's really going on. You know, I see right through all this bull crap he's spewing on this camera, man. It's sad. It's a lot for you. It ain't a lot for somebody who know this stuff, man, who know what's really going on and hear this false information that he's telling. Anyway,
it's high level, but I want to make sure that
level
people can follow along with it. So, talking about third dimension, right? It's say ants are not third dimensional beings, right? Because they can't see upward, right? They're not horizontal. You understand me? They exist on a plane where they're looking forward, right? So when you're moving about the rest of the world that is higher up to them, they have no access to that, no perspective on that whatsoever. You understand me? For them, everything is straight and in front of them. For human beings, we have the ability to look upward, to look inward, to look outward, to look around, right? So therefore, we're connected into different angles, different perspectives, and different dimensions. You understand me? And then what I wanted to get though with next though, so let's say we got the third dimension, right? Now talking about the fourth dimension, right? What is the fourth dimension?
The fourth dimension is something called a tesseract. And if you go into the ancient text, it's Metatron's cube. Meta, M-E-T-A, meta.
Google said from that CERN website that fourth dimension is time. Now you want to go into some cartoon stuff, right? And the cartoons got it from the satanic scientists who created the cartoon, or the people who created the cartoon got it from some satanic scientists or some weird religion that they were in, right? And you're spewing this garbage of this weirdo religion, right? Now you're going to get into Megatron and all this silliness, man. Let's go.
Metaverse, right? They got that from Metatron's cube. It's a fourth dimensional substructure. Now, this fourth dimension is really something called a quasi crystal. And this quasi crystal in the fourth dimension, it casts a shadow. And the shadow that it casts, it creates the realm that we're living in here. We're living in a shadow of a higher dimension. That shadow creates a third dimension.
All right, knock it off. This is so when you see this thing, I think this is called the tree of life or something, right? This comes from those people who call themselves Jews, who I call fake Jews. All right. Ultimately, I think it comes from ancient Babylon, right? But the Hindus took this and ran with it as well. Not the Hindus, right? The people from India, right? Who's in the religion of Hinduism. They use this as well, and they made this very famous. And then who adopted this is the fake Jews, who are called Khazars or Russians, basically Ukrainians, Polands, whatever you want to call them, right? They adopted this into their mysticism religion, which is the Kabbalah, right? So this dude is in the Kabbalah, and in the Kabbalah they call this the tree of life, right? No, it's not. What the Bible calls the tree of life, it's not this. Okay, so and where did these people on this earth get this from? Ultimately, they got it from Satan, right? Now, this thing which he's talking about Megatron did not create our dimension. The cube, this cube thing did not create our dimension. Get that crap out of here. You see, this is the lies that these fallen angels and demons are telling these people when they get on these psychologic drugs and when they're doing these lotus pose meditations and talking to these and getting possessed by demons and talking to these spirits. They are telling them lies, right? And now he's on camera telling 3.3 million people who watched this video this bull crap, man. And this is the stuff that pisses me off, man, because you got more people following this stupidness and it's going to get themselves into possession by demons and it's going to get themselves put into mental institutions for following this silliness, or just get themselves thrown into the lake of fire when the Most High come and destroy. This is why the Bible said 2/3 of his people of Israel is wait, is it 2/3 of Israel or 2/3 of everybody on this freaking earth? But it says 2/3 are going to be destroyed. Only 1/3 is going to get saved. So why? Because everybody, look how many people watch this silliness. And they are probably intrigued by this because they don't know nothing, because they don't read the freaking scriptures. You read the scriptures and believe in the Messiah, you will get understanding of what the freak he's talking about and realize this is bull. This is not real. What he's talking about, this is fake news. As Donald Trump says, this is fake news from the fallen angels and the demons.
It actually creates a fractal of it, creates this fractal holographic matrix that we're actually maneuvering in the third dimension right now.
So would the fourth dimension be considered a dimension of time?
You can address.
Oh, where did 19 Keys get that from? Google. I just Googled it, man. I Googled it before. And they got it from the CERN. The CERN website talks about this. What CERN is a bunch of satanic scientists and people who are trying to control the world. You built this large collider, hydron, whatever it's called, collider called CERN, and because they're trying to bring about dark matter and all these wickedness, into this world that we're in from the spiritual world, I guess, or whatever. They, and so they just regurgitating the stuff of these wicked white satanic people who control this earth. Anyway,
Press a fourth dimension of time, like Albert Einstein was saying, if you're just looking at a third plus a fourth being the arrow. But when you actually move up into another dimension, we now know in quantum physics that there is actually a fourth dimension. So all dimensions are in 90-degree angles of each other. And according to quantum theory right now, we're really anticipating that there's at least 11 dimensions, or otherwise the universe would collapse.
Negro, you worrying about 4, 5, 6, 7, 11 dimensions. Worry about not peeing on the toilet seat when you go to the bathroom. I would worry about that. Worry about worry about the stuff you got to worry about on this earth. What the heck you talk about 4th, 5th, or 11th dimension, man? 1,000th dimension. Like, get out of here with this silliness, man. Y'all crazy. And I bet you y'all sound smart to a bunch of fools.
So there really is truly a fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, all the way up. Not just the arrow of time. That's just something extra. They try to make it make sense back then by saying the fourth dimension is time, but time is actually not a dimension at all.
Make it make sense.
So now that's a very interesting, because it's a lot that I'm sure that everybody's like, all right, I thought I was smart, and then I tried to keep up, and then I got left behind.
Right.
You understand me? And what I want to bring.
Oh, you think you gotta be smart to understand this gobbledygook coming out of his mouth? You think you gotta be smart to this is my first time going through this video. I understand what the freak he's talking about and it's utter nonsense. Stop trying to sound smart. Like I said, you sound smart to a bunch of fools.
Bring people up to speed. You understand me? And the ideas in correlation to the analogy of how we're moving as a collective human species, specifically with technology, right?
Yeah.
Because I think it can be connected to, cellular technology, right? Going from 3G to 4G. And, going from 3G to 4G to 5G, which allows us to.
And you see, he coughed, right? He coughed because he's like, "This is dumb bullshit. I'm just trying to get some views off of this, off of this Negro right here. This is a bull 3G to 4G and connecting technology to the dimensions. Yeah, okay, whatever.
Be able to do different things that we normally weren't able to do that weren't possible.
Yeah.
Right. Let's say you got 3G phones. It's hell. You make better, faster calls. You understand me?
Yeah.
Connected. Then you get to 4G, and you're talking about now applications and streaming, right? And Wi-Fi, right? Being able to connect within systems and the Internet of Things, and then 5G allowing completely new systems of possibility. And this was where I think a lot of people missed the point in 2020 when everybody was going through the craze of whether 5G was killing them or not. It was more so what was 5G going to do, right? So the NFTs and the Web3, right? And you're talking about, AR, VR, spatial reality, all these different things are not possible unless you have 5G being in connection.
NFTs, 5G, NFTs, and what he said, crypto or whatever, bunch of stuff. The NFTs and what he said, the metaverse stuff, which is a bunch of stuff that these wealthy white people are using to make money off of you dumb, foolish, ignorant people. I wouldn't worry about a daggone NFT and you ain't got a freaking $1,000 worth of savings in your bank account. Worrying about an NFT and you got debt. You worrying about NFT and you ain't got no emergency savings. Man, y'all sound stupid.
So it was representing a new world being produced outward. And it wasn't just an accident that NFTs came after the pandemic and this technology came after. There was something happening at that same point in time that for me, it was entering into a new phase of the world, a new dimension, a new speed, right? And that speed, can be known as time, if you will. And a lot of people without that ability to process at a high level, right? Like you got bandwidth, you got landline speed, you got Wi-Fi speed, you got 5G speed, you get left behind.
Yeah.
So everything seems that it's moving fast, but that's only because you're not moving as fast.
Right.
Everything stands still when you're moving at the same speed.
Yeah.
You understand me? And so what I've always tried to do is keep people up to speed where we at in the dimension that we're currently in, or a little bit above, so you can be ahead of your time as a visionary.
Yeah.
Because the fastest speed is the mind. You understand me? Being able to travel in your thoughts.
Yeah.
Right? That can travel you, that can take you into time, that can take you ahead of time, if you will.
And who created your mind? The Most High. No Big Bang Theory created a single cell living organism which grew into what we are today. This makes no sense. Who created your mind? The Most High did. So how about you focus on him? Get to know his son. Get to know his commandments. And you'll be okay. Not focusing on this silliness, this foolishness that you're talking about. It's just utter madness. Anyways, continue.
Oh yeah.
But the idea.
Oh yeah, wait. With that Big Bang thing, right? Since when a bang puts things perfectly in place and creates life and all this other stuff, usually a bang destroys things, right? When there's an explosion, it usually destroys, not create. So this whole thing about a big bang creating intelligent life makes no sense. Anyway.
Of time itself, I love the concept that it being an illusion because, even the era when time is connected to language, right? that I wrote in my book about how when we speak in the English language, you know, it's a very future tense reference, right? So we're always referencing the future as we speak. I will be there. I'm going to do this.
Yeah.
And we have so many different phrases within.
And then we also reference the past. I did this already. Did you do that? So what are you talking about, man? Yeah, silly.
The language, we're always pushing ourselves, not connecting to the present,
Yeah.
but at a later point in day and time.
Right.
You understand me? And I think that learning to be present connects us to the power that we have in control over.
Yeah.
And then once you have that power, then you know how to create seeds that can control the rest of the time.
And that's what I'm saying. Connect to the present. Yeah, just focus on what you're doing. You live in if this is your apartment, focus on paying the daggone rent. If that's your condo, focus on paying your mortgage. Right? Focus on keeping the commandments. Focus on taking care of your finances, taking care of your children, being a good husband, making sure your wife. Focus on leading your wife and leading your household as a man. How about you focus on that? Don't focus on the fourth, the fifth, and the 11th dimension. Anyway,
But you said something about beings,
Yeah.
right? Now, we always look at ourselves as people, but then when we talk about people, you're talking about human beings,
Yeah.
right? The
yeah, human beings. What you called him? An extraterrestrial. What the? You're contradicting yourself. You called him an extraterrestrial in the beginning of the video, and then now you're saying human beings. We human beings. Which one? Which one are we? 19 keys, huh? Which one? You sound confusing.
being part is not something that the average person understands,
Yeah.
right? And then when you're saying that there are other beings,
Yeah.
who are these other beings?
I believe personally, just based on
Demons. The ones that he's getting this information from, or the people he followed got the information from. Demons, fallen angels. And demon and the fallen angel are not the same thing. These are two different entities. Demons are the children of the fallen angels. Are the souls of the children of the fallen angels that mix with human women. Okay, fallen angels was creating angels. Fallen angels used to be angels that was in heaven, and then Satan caused a rebellion to happen in heaven. You can read this in the scriptures, and he took a third of the angels with him, and then they became fallen angels, and they tricked and taught rebellious, itchy ear, one to hear another doctrine, human beings, the silliness that you're regurgitating today.
So from my research, and I've gone through now over 1,000 scriptures, texts, papyruses,
Meaning YouTube videos. This dude ain't read no 1,000 books, scripts, texts, and papyruses. Negro, please. You was listening to YouTube videos and searching Google. And searching Google and got this bull crap that you pitch it to the people and try to make a name for yourself. Listen, man. I know you unconscious Israelites. I know you. I know you. I know what you guys do. Stop it, man. You are not no scholar. Stop it. Stop it. You're not a scholar. You was looking at YouTube videos. This is TikTok knowledge. This comes from TikTok. I know where it comes from, and it's from TikTok. Get out of here, man. YouTube. Yeah, I researched
cuneiform tablets.
thousands of books of papyruses. I researched the world from thin and far into, and I sat down in the greatest libraries on earth, and I got all this knowledge. Stop it, Negro. Stop it. I don't believe you.
Looks from all over the world. They all have a very similar story, and all these ancient civilizations talk.
Yeah, you got a similar story just like they do. It's the same stuff that I read about inside the scriptures. You're saying the same things that these people, these rebellious people in the Bible was worshiping back then. Yeah, it's the same thing.
talk about beings, not just beings who came here from other planets, people that look like us and we look like them. We're, in other words, not identical, but very similar. In other words, a bilateral, bipedal hominid of some type that can maneuver around, that has
spirits. It's called spirits. Yes, and spirits can take on forms of human. Yes, they can copy the form of a human. Yes.
appendages that can manipulate the environment, because without that, you can't move out into space and other places. And they also talk about multidimensional. You get into like the non-commodity stuff like that. You're talking about multidimensional beings. And so in physics, in quantum physics in particular, they started theorizing on these dimensions and were able to even analyze and discover some that they actually do exist. And on top of that, they realized that the dimensions are stacked, so packed, so tight on top of one another that if you can phase shift your atomic structure, your subatomic frequency, you can walk right into another dimension.
Oh, that means if you open up your pineal gland to the spiritual wickedness that he's spewing out of his mouth, then yeah, you can open yourself up to spirits. Yes. Yeah, and get possessed. Yes, and there's different ways that you can do that. Through drugs, you get possessed through doing drugs. Remember those videos on YouTube of dudes who are on K2, synthetic weed and all that, and they banging their heads on bus windows and busting the window with their heads and stuff because they have spirits inside them. They're possessed through the drugs that they were taking. Then there's other ways that you can do. You can do it through meditating and Hindu spiritual ritual meditation things. You can get demons summoned through you by sitting in the middle of a pentagram with candles around it in a circle and people chanting and doing a ritual and summoning demons into your body. There's many ways that you can be possessed. Okay? Yes. But that's being in touch with the dark side. That's being in touch with Satan and his entities that follow that he's in charge of. How about when you believe in the Most High and you accept the Messiah, which is his son, as your savior, and you repent of your sins and keep the commandments? Now you can open up yourself to what? The good side, the side of your creator. And you can have access to the Most High, the one who's in charge of all this stuff that you're talking about, and his son and his spirit. And you can have angels protect you from these entities that you're talking about, which are evil, and they lie to you because they know you humans are so gullible and naive. They lie to you and they say that they're the good ones and have you following them just to get deeper and deeper into spiritual wickedness. But anyway.
And so they started postulating, what if beings from higher dimensions or some of these apparitions and these paranormal phenomena that we're seeing, are they able to maybe take a glimpse or a peek? Are they phasing through into our universe? And so from higher dimensions. And so they started really theorizing it. It seems to be, and based on my research, that there's people living everywhere. Not just, and I'm talking about little green.
No, people are on Earth. Spirits are in these other quote unquote dimensions that you're talking about.
Man with antenna.
Spirit world.
I think that there's people living all throughout this universe in the third dimension, and I think there's people living all throughout even higher multiple dimensions. Maybe at a certain level, a certain height in those dimensions. Maybe they don't have a real corporeal body,
right? Non-physical.
Non-physical. You know what I'm saying? But I believe that the consciousness is there.
Then that part is interesting, the non-physical aspect, because I understand that and I can believe in that idea and that concept. It's like what people think. I think of angels as angles.
Yeah.
Right.
Right.
Because angels are supposed to exist in between dimensions.
Yeah.
You understand me? And angles, you understand me, are dimensions.
That's
right. And
Negroes like to make up their own, like they always got to remix something. Who's the king of remixing? Unconscious Israelites. Us, black people. We are the king of remixing stuff, right? You want to remix, angels and make it angles. Negro, just call it what it is. Angels. Stop it, please.
So it's like perspective is your angle in which you see things and view things. And oftentimes angels come and gives us new perspective, new thoughts. You understand me?
Yeah.
Arriving from a different, completely dimension of thought that we couldn't arrive at ourselves.
Correct.
No, angels are messengers and basically used by the Most High, and they follow what the Most High tell them to do. They do not come down on their own and speak to humans and give them new perspectives of things without the Most High permission. And first of all, to even get in contact with them, you usually got to be seeking the Most High and not the spiritual wickedness that you guys are seeking. And if you are seeking the spiritual wickedness that you guys are seeking, that means the beings that are contacting you are not angels. They lie to you and tell you that they are, or ascended masters, or the Anunnaki and all this other stuff. But really, they're just demons and fallen angels who are deceiving your little feeble minds.
But at the same time, when you're talking about non-corporeal bodies or non-physical bodies, understand me, I like that concept because when you're talking about time, talking about light, talking about all these different ways in which light or energy can exist within and consciousness, right? The awareness of, output, you understand, mathematical output, right? Do you believe that the universe is mathematical?
Oh, absolutely. The language of God is mathematics. Because mathematics can literally explain everything that we experience, everything also that exists. Even the fact that we're existing in a light matrix can be proven through mathematics. So we're living in a matrix that's basically written on mathematics called Adinkra codes.
Now, you can call whatever you call it. You are regurgitating what you read and what you heard, right? So whoever you got this information from, they call it a Dinkna code, whatever you just said. Whatever, bro. Listen, the Most High created this world, and there's certain. He made the sun in a perfect sphere, right? There's math in that, and its distance, a certain distance away from the Earth is a certain distance away from the sun. The trees are all our bodies. Everything has different measurements and all this other. Yes, the Most High did use math to create. Well, who created math? The Most High. It says in the scriptures that He is wisdom. Okay, so wisdom comes from Him. So, and through wisdom is how He created everything. Well, the Son, and the Father and the Spirit created this world that we're living in through wisdom, which they hold. So which the Most High holds, right? So, in His Son. So, yes, math was involved in creating this world that we live in, and it's not called what you just said it was. You got that from some white guy. And this is supposed to, these people always talk about pro-black this and that, but you're spewing words and things and these concepts and stuff like that from white people.
And these Adinkra codes go all the way back to the Dogons.
Oh my God.
Dogon tribes out of Mali, Africa.
Yeah.
They actually originated these codes, and they were given these codes by the Nomo, and they learned them. They drew them out as art forms. But now, and they put them on clothing and blankets and everything else.
So the Dogon tribe, very interesting tribe, that was able to discover, systems before telescopes and things of that.
Yeah, and how did they get this information? I'm pretty sure through the fallen angels and demons that they serve. Those water spirits, those tree spirits, and the things that they talk about all the time. African spiritualism, African wickedness. Yes.
Nature.
Yeah.
So how did they arrive to be able to, because I know a lot of people, I posted about this
Fallen
not too long
angels.
ago. People want to understand how the hell did the Dogon tribe arrive to it.
Yeah.
Right?
Fallen angels.
I just subscribe to, us being, gods, melanated beings on this planet Earth. We connected in a way that we just don't understand anymore. You understand me? And being multidimensional, I think about physics in that aspect where you're talking about things being entangled. Not Will and Jada entanglements, you understand me? But quantum entanglements.
Right. Yeah.
And once you understand that, being multidimensional to me is easily understood from the fact that you can break us down to atoms right?
Yeah, it's called living. It's called living in this world and then the spiritual world. Sometimes the spirit worlds enter into our world. Yes, okay, man. All right, it's simple.
Then
Yeah.
cells, and then we get into our skin and we see our physical.
Yeah.
But from an atomic level, those are different laws.
Yeah.
Right? And we're made up of atoms.
Mhm.
So that an aspect of our existence is obeying different laws of the universe.
Yeah.
And then our cells are obeying different laws of
Yeah.
gravity and magnetism, right? And flow. But then we as human beings are obeying different laws, right? Of gravity and magnetism in the universe. And then we forget about the universal laws of our multidimensional self
Yeah.
because we only know man's law.
Exactly.
You understand me? So I think being multidimensional is easily understood as
Listen, you say you forget about the laws, our laws, the multi-dimensional laws, because we're focused on ourselves. Let me run that back. I don't want to quote them wrong.
to we forget about the universal laws of our multidimensional self
Yeah.
because we only know man's law.
Exactly.
Now, multidimensional self. Now you're talking about, you see, let's break this down, people. This is not hard to break down. This is all simple stuff once you are aware of spiritual wickedness and spiritual righteousness. Spiritual righteousness is the most high, things that deal with the most high and his only begotten son, right? And his spirit. And then you have spiritual wickedness that deal with Satan. Well, I'm well versed in both. Now, Satan's spiritual wickedness, what he's talking about, on he's talking about multi-dimensional stuff, right? Dealing with human beings, multi-dimensional, multi-dimensionals, being in multiple dimensional, or us realizing multiple dimensions, right? As humans, he's talking about that can be related to astral projection, where you're dealing in. That can be it depend on what side are you getting into that, right? With you can get into that by worshiping Satan and doing astral projecting as a witch or a warlock and meditating and drugs, like I said, or you can be filled with the spirit of the Most High, and the Most High can show you things and stuff like that. That's can show you things, and he can take you into the multiple dimensions that he's talking about. Okay, now you want to enter into a multiple dimension with the Most High, right? You want him to take you into these multiple dimensions, right? You don't want to enter into these multiple dimensions, these dimensions that he's talking about, dealing with Satan and serving him, because you can get possessed by these spirits. Okay, and then you'll be talking about this wickedness that he's talking about right now and sounding crazy, acting like you're saying you're having this high level conversation when you're not. The Bible talks about this all the time. It's very common.
You understand me? So I think being multidimensional is easily understood as above, so below. You understand me? But the idea
Which is as above so below comes from, I believe, the Masons, or let's see if I can get it. It comes from, satanic organizations who spew this garbage. Let me see. I'm typing it into Google. I'll show it on on the video in a second, but let me just type it myself. Let's see. Well, let me change it. All right. I really don't feel like looking it up, but just tell y'all where it comes from. It comes from these some of these satanic organizations. But some people say, "Oh, you can get it from the Bible too," but I don't recall the Bible using that type of terminology, as above, so below. Okay, how we use it is, let the Most High's will be done as it is in heaven, on this earth as it is in heaven, right? So, but how these people who serve Satan use it is totally different. They don't use it in referencing the Most High, right? They use it in referencing these fallen angels, and so duplicating on this earth what these fallen angels want you to do. basically. So let's go. As above, so below, came from who, right? As above, so below, origin dates to sometime between 200 CE and 800 CE. It is attributed to an ancient document called the Emerald Tablets of Hermes, Trismegistus, whatever. Hermes Trismegistus, whatever, supposedly sound like some Roman or Greek. Supposedly wrote several texts, including the Hermetic corpus, right? Sound like some Greek or Roman who probably got it from the Egyptians, who probably got it from the Babylonians, right? All this all goes back to black civilizations who rebelled against the Most High and started worshiping fallen angels, right? And Satan never originates. He's not original. He can't create anything. He just copies everything that the Most High did. He takes what the Most High did and try to make it his own and put his own spin on it and then sell it to you people on this earth. So this is all just like I said, it's nothing new under the sun, as Solomon said, King Solomon in the Bible. He said, "There's nothing new under the sun." So this spiritual wickedness that they are talking about has our ancestors was talking about their spiritual wickedness during their time as well. Um, let's get back to it. You see how I can just easily look this stuff up and easily tell you where it comes from. This is not no high level stuff. This is simple stuff. You got righteous wickedness, you got bad good, right? Like it's all gonna fall on one or the other side, right?
Idea of the Dogon people being able to chart systems, how were they able to figure that out? You understand me? Before the Europeans had an idea
Demons,
of what was out there.
fallen angels.
Right. Well, to be honest with you, if you go all the way back to the ancient Dogon history, before they got to Mali, they were in the land of Kem. They were the original inhabitants of the land of Kem before it was called Egypt.
Mm-hmm.
And so
Kem meaning the land of blacks.
Now I don't know if the Dogons go back to Egypt. I don't really care. But there's a black people, and if they were in Egypt, whatever, right? But where did they get this information from? It's from the idols that they was worshiping, the demons and the fallen angels that they was worshiping, or they got it from prior civilization before them, right?
the land of blacks, correct, exactly, land of blacks. Kem was black, it's all black.
Mm-hmm.
That's in the tablets.
So Kem, so you got there's so much Jews in here, but so in Kem, you understand me? That's Africa.
Yeah,
right. I know everybody calls.
No, that's well. Go ahead. I mean, he's just said it was Egypt. Now you're saying it's Africa. Africa is the continent, right? And then Egypt is a freaking country in the continent of Africa. Which one? Make up your minds. Look, y'all both know me on this, going against one another.
The Middle East as if
it's Africa.
It's the Middle East is the most funniest made up concept, magical idea on the planet.
Now, this is probably the only time throughout the video I agree with this guy. When Israelites, because Israelites say this stuff too, right? Israelites like to say, "Oh, the Middle East is Africa," right? Israel is Africa. No. If Israel, which is connected to Egypt, yes, and connected to the continent of Africa, right, is Africa, that means, well, Israel is connected also to Europe, right? The Middle East, I should say, is connected to Europe, and the Middle East is also connected to Asia Minor, and Asia Minor is connected to Asia Major, right? And all this is connected to Russia. So that means all that land is connected there. So that means you can't stop at the Middle East and call that Africa. You will have to call Europe Africa. You have to call Russia Africa. You have to call Asia Africa, because it's all connected. So you see where this argument doesn't make any sense, and it's foolishness. And I agree with him. It's foolishness. Okay. So we created borders and said that the border of Africa stops at the top of Egypt. That's it. It doesn't go into the Middle East. They call it something else. And it doesn't matter because black people inhabited the whole freaking earth. So stop trying to claim, the Middle East is Africa and all this in Africa. Black people originally because there's a black area or is an area where black people live. Listen, black people lived all over the freaking earth. We claim the whole earth. Okay, the whole earth is ours. You don't just have to claim Africa and the Middle East. You can claim the whole earth. Okay.
No.
Because it's like you have in Africa, but no, this is like the Middle East Africa. It doesn't count for sub-Saharan Africa, Northern Africa, and East Africa. Like,
Yeah.
but it's Africa, right?
It's Africa.
Yeah. So
I mean,
for those who don't
Cairo's
know,
in Africa.
Cairo's in Africa.
Yeah. I know people still get it wrong to this day.
That's crazy.
It
So go
surprises
ahead.
me.
Egypt
But
in
so
Africa.
they, according to their records and their handed down verbal history, the records are etched into caves, stuff like that. The Nomo came here from Sirius B. Okay, so there's a trinary star system that we know of called Sirius, the Sirius star system, A, B, and C.
Yeah.
B is a failed star. In other words, it ran out of fuel, turned into a white dwarf.
All right. So why is he saying that this group of people? Let me see the Nomo. He said the Nomo, right? Let's back it up. Let me just Google this stupidness.
Okay. The Nomo came here from Sirius.
All right, the Nomo. Let's look up the Nomo. Oh boy, because it's either gonna be two things. I'm telling you right now before I even look it up. It's either gonna be two things. These are a real group of people, a real tribe, African tribe, and they were doing drugs and stuff back then as well, and doing rituals and getting in contact with these fallen angels and demons. And they got information from these fallen angels and demons that, hey, Nomo people, you guys came from us. You came from the skies and stars, right? And so they believed this stupidness and regurgitating it and sent it and passed it down oral history or through the caves, drawing this stuff on the caves and stuff like that, and they passed that information down. Okay. Or this is not a real group of people on this earth, and he's talking about some spiritual beings and stuff like that. So let's see what this is about. Let's look up the Nomo. Right. Switch my screen. Let's switch the screen into our Google tab and let's Google it. If you can Google this stuff, then it's not high level. Oh boy. The Nomo people, right? Sorry. Let's put Africa so we can narrow this search down. All right, the Nomo or the Numo are primordial ancestral spirits. Wow. In the Dogon religion. All right, so the Dogon is the people, and then the Nomo are the ancestral spirits. So the ancestral spirits ain't no freaking ancestral. Are the demons, right? The fallen angels and the demons that contacted the or the Dogon, which sounds like the Dogon spirit, and that we read Dagon, sound like the Dagon. But anyway, the Dogon people got in contact through either rituals or drugs, you know, with these ancestrals, with these fallen angels, right? With these fallen angels or demons, whatever. And these spirits, these demons, demonic spirits or fallen angels, lied to them and told them that they and lied to them and told them these satanic lies that this guy is talking about on this video. All right, sometimes referred to as the demi deities. Yo, demons, man. Come on. Venerated by the Dogon. See, this sounds like Dogon in the Bible. There's a deity that these Africans worship named Dagon. That's what the Dogon people sound like. But anyway, by the Dogon people in Mali. The word nomos or the nomos is derived from a Dogon word meaning to make one drink. See, in these water spirits, who knows? It's probably messing around the water. These water spirits came, which is Dagon. In the Bible, Dagon is a word, is a water spirit. Anyway, nomos are usually described as amphibious, hermaphrodite. Oh, come on, they come on. These this is pure satanic stuff, man. Come on, look, it's a hermaphrodite, right? Hermaphroditic fish-like creature. Wow, Dagon. Oh, come on. Let me look this up for y'all guys, man. This is come on, man. Dagon in the Bible. Oh, come on, man. Look at Dagon. Look, Dagon was the Hebrew and Ugaritic common noun grain, and the god Dagon was the legendary inventor of the plow. His cult is attested as early as about 2500 BC, and according to texts found as Shemra, ancient Ugarit, he was the father of the god Baal. Look at Dagon, a fish deity. This is where that mermaid stuff come from. Okay, that's why I don't watch Little Mermaid. Have my child watch Little Mermaid because it's about fish demons. It's a demon that these African nations used to worship. Now, and a hermaphrodite. Oh my gosh! Now, but it says hermaphrodite, right? Well, we know an hermaphrodite deity, right? Which is, let's look them up. Baphomet, right? Spelling wrong. Baphomet, right? Let's look them up. Right? This is hermaphrodite, right? Half man, half woman. You got a man or a man body, breast like a woman. Look, this is what these people are worshiping. Hermaphrodite fish deities, whatever. Y'all crazy, boy. This is what he's regurgitating, man. I don't care, man, if people been worshiping this thing ever since Satan rebelled against the Most High. I don't care. Ever since humans was on the earth, I don't care. What was here before this stupidness is the Most High, and that's who we worship. Okay, so let's see. Let's see, hermaphrodite, right? Just to make sure I'm doing a person or an animal. Yeah, drive bisexual. There you go. An animal having both male and female sex organs. Yep. Oh, sex organs. Yeah, and the sexual characteristics either as abnormally or in case of some organisms as their natural condition. Yep. Come on, guys. Yeah. I can't be listening to this silliness and really like following this stupidness, man. Oh man. Anyway, let's get back to the video of him talking about this woman breast fish demon named Nomos. Oh boy. You see, this stuff ain't hard to understand. And how do I easily understand this stuff? Because I read the scriptures, and the scriptures talks about this wickedness that these people were worshiping, they still worshiping today. Just read the scriptures. Follow the Most High and His only begotten Son, and you guys will not fall victim to this wickedness that this person who's probably possessed by a demon is spewing out of his mouth. And he's gonna get you guys possessed by demons by following this guy. And you're gonna be walking around with pagan symbols and a kufi and a hat with pagan symbols on it, just like this idiot. But anyway, sorry, man, not to call you idiot, but it's foolish, whatever. Let's get to it.
Sirius B. Okay, so there's a trinary star system that we know of called Sirius, the Sirius star system, A, B, and C.
Yeah.
B is a fail star. In other words, it ran out of fuel, turned into a white dwarf. These beings were orbiting on a planet that orbited that star, according to the Dogon, not me. Came here, they're called the Nomo. The Dogon called them the Nomo. Taught them all about the star system, the orbital pattern, our entire solar system, the names, the shapes, the sizes, the colors of all the planets in our solar system.
Lies. All right. Just like what I've been saying throughout this whole video. These fallen angels or demons, right, are telling these people, the Dogo people or the Dogon people, a bunch of lies about, oh, this is how you was born, this is the universe, and this is that, and that's this, that's that. Bunch of lies. In the scriptures, we call this doctrines of demons. These are the teachings of demons that people are being fed because they're not worshiping the Most High. They're worshiping demons or fallen angels, whichever ones. I don't know because I don't care to know which one is contacting these people because it's all wickedness and of Satan.
All the planetary alignments, and they even knew that that white dwarf star was so gravitationally heavy that one spoonful couldn't be lifted by over 1 million men. They even knew that. We learned that in quantum mechanics and quantum physics in the 1970s, 1980s. We hypothesized it. And obviously, we couldn't even see that star until the 1980s, 1970s, I'm sorry.
So when did they,
All right, guys, hold on. I'm going to cut this here, right? I'm gonna cut this here because we've been on for about an hour and a half, and I don't want to make this video too long. I'm going to revisit this video again, okay? And I'm gonna make another video. I don't want to, and so I'm gonna go through this whole video of them talking about these doctrines of demons, right? And and I'm gonna make a reaction or response to all this crap and tell you guys the truth about what's going on, tell you guys the truth and not believe, and so I can help you guys not to believe these lies which they're regurgitating from demons, right, or fallen angels. And also, I gotta use the restroom, so I'm cutting this video. Right, let's I use the restroom and then come back. And then, but I'll just cut the video because it's an hour and a half already, and I'll make another video. All right, so stay tuned for part 2. Okay, it's going to come up. I promise I will be more frequent on this uh channel and pumping out videos and stuff like that, especially videos like this where there's a bunch of nonsense on YouTube and on these social media websites where people are talking about all this, spiritual wickedness and leading my people astray. And so I cannot stand idly by and let this happen. I have to put out information on the opposition side, so on the opposing side, and so you guys can get some real understanding of this spiritual wickedness that they're talking about. Okay, and making it seem like this is good and this is something that people need to be following when really it's not. And this is going to get you into more spiritual wickedness and ultimately demon possession in the lake and in hell and in a lake of fire. And I'm trying to save you guys because I love my people and I have a duty to the Most High to do this, and to fight against evilness and wickedness, and to hopefully pull this brother 19 Keys and this other guy Billy Carson out of the spiritual wickedness that they're in, and hopefully they will come and see the light. So stay tuned for part 2, and I'm out. Shalom.